Yo, what's up? Thought I'd start on time, even though my guest is having a little bit of trouble. I'm sure we'll figure it out. I'm sure he'll figure it out. I don't know if there's too much I can do. Anyways, what's up, Andre? Good to see you here. I always try to make these streams a little on the early side so you can join because I know you're like you're like a 10-hour difference in Russia, right? It's got to be like 10 o'clock there or 11 or something, something like that. So, anyways, have a cool guest. Hopefully, hopefully he arrives. I'm talking to him right now, but he's just having a little bit of technical difficulties. But I tried to, or I've been kind of keeping it a secret. I've only told one person who it is so far. It's somebody that most of you likely know. Um, and if you know who it is, you like this person. I can definitely guarantee that. I don't know what other clues to give you. I guess I'll say this. He does have a YouTube channel. He has not been active in probably he hasn't been very active or active at all in God over a year, maybe even 2 years. But he's one of the best people I've ever met ever. He's definitely one of the most likable people on the planet, and I don't know what other what other hints I can give you. I'm just having some coffee. It is noon my time. I'm on Pacific Standard Time, and I've been lazy. I got a 4 day weekend, and yeah, I've been lazy as shit. I basically stayed in bed until like 11 a.m. today. Didn't really want to get out of bed. just I was just relaxing. Yeah, you like my cup, Andre? I got the Universal Monsters cup. It's pretty awesome. It's got all the monsters. Yeah, it's awesome. So, so I don't just sit here looking like an idiot without without my guest. I guess we'll talk about let's talk about some stuff we've been listening to this year. Let's talk about some music that we have been listening to, new releases specifically. I'm gonna plug my iPod into my iTunes here. Maybe we can talk a little bit about music until he arrives. So I've been listening to some pretty cool stuff, um, and that's not really what this stream is going to be about. It's not really going to be about music, to be honest. It's going to be we'll get there when we get there. What's up, Scott? Good to see you, dude. What's up, Peter? Good to see you. What's up, Nate? Andre, your favorite monster is the Phantom. Nice pick. That's awesome. I like that because that's he's probably one of the least popular Universal monsters. So yeah, till my buddy arrives here, let's talk about some music. I have been working on formulating a best of like a top 10 list for the end of the year. Pretty much what I do this every single year. Like I wait. I listen to a little bit of new stuff throughout the year, but then I'll wait until like I'll kind of slack until usually until about October, and then I realize like, oh shit, I haven't listened to half these releases that I've been meaning to listen to, and so like October through December, I'm like only listening to new stuff. Um, so I'm trying to listen to all the 2023 releases with the remaining couple of months, and at this point, God, I only have 5 weeks, so Nate, I think I said hi, but hi again. Cosmos, Texas. What's up? Go. Are you Aaron from Goat Throne? Just going by your thumbnail there. Am I reading that right? If so, or even if not, awesome label. Um, I got that Eat the Decay tape. If you are Aaron, I got that Eat the Decay tape from you, and that was really nice of you getting that to me. Right on, dude. Yeah, your label is awesome. If anyone hasn't, anyone into death metal, black metal, if you have not checked out Goat Throne Records, check it out. In my opinion, one of the up and coming metal labels. You know, it hasn't been around too long so far, but definitely catching people's attention for sure. Peter got a re-release of Mortician. Oh, dude, yeah, they've been cranking out those Mortician records. Yeah, represses. Yeah, represses, man. I need to get some of those. I don't have any Mortician on vinyl. I have most of it on CD. 1 second here. I got a text here. I'm going to respond real quick. Boom. Okay. Yeah, he's having a little bit of difficulties, but if he doesn't make it, that's okay. I just tricked you guys into showing up for just me. So anyways, yeah, back to the 2023 releases. I used to pay really, really close attention. I wanted to hear every new release, or at least be aware of it. You know, I wanted to be like an encyclopedia of, you know, all the new albums that are coming out. I had to know about it. But the last like 5 or 6 years, I have really slacked. And I think this kind of like new release fatigue happens with people as they get older. I've noticed this in a lot of my older friends. But I'm trying to fight it, because it's not like I don't care anymore. I still like, you know, I don't want to become detached from the current scene. So I'm trying, but it's hard. So it's still hard. You know, because I still want to listen to Rush, and I still want to listen to Slayer, and I still want to listen to Iron Maiden. You know, I don't want to. I feel like people that do a really good job at keeping up with all the new releases, I feel like it would be really hard to lose touch with all the old classics. I don't want to do that. So, but anyways, I've been listening to some cool stuff lately. Like the new Afterbirth album. I don't know if anyone's into Afterbirth from New York. Hey, what's up, Simon? But Afterbirth from New York, really, really cool band. I've liked them in the past. They formed in like the early, closer to the mid 90s, but kind of early to mid. Started off more of like a brutal death metal, like your standard New York brutal death metal. You know what that sounds like. And they were good at it, but maybe they didn't stand out necessarily. And so they have a new album. I haven't heard any of their new stuff, I don't think, in a couple of years or longer. So now they're kind of like a different band now. They are like this kind of progressive technical death metal band, which obviously that's probably not going to be everyone's cup of tea, but it is so good. You know, if you're into technical death metal in any form, it's just awesome. Afterbirth, new album called In But Not Of, came out on Willowtip Records, which is not a label I follow real closely, but it is awesome. Louis, fucking Louis crying out in the living room. Got to yell at him sometimes. Sorry. Peter got Hyperdontia's Deranged EP. Oh yeah, Hyperdontia, easily one of the best death metal bands of the last 10 years. Louis, come here. Yeah, Hyperdontia, amazing. Go lay down, please. Go lay down. Favorite black metal album? Oh man, put me on the spot. I don't know if I have a favorite black metal album, Andre. I'd have to think about that. Yeah, I don't know. I'm one of those people where I don't ever really have a favorite of anything. Like, I'm always like a top 50. You know, like I might have 50 favorite black metal albums. I'll think about that. I'll get back to you. Nate, you like the new Afterbirth? I could see you being into that. That's cool. Yeah, I could see that being your cup of tea more than mine, but I think it's fair to say it's going to make my top 10 or 5. It's just so goddamn good. Simon, you bought the CD of Chainsaw Dismemberment. Same here. Oh, so they must have repressed CDs as well, not just vinyl. In that case, good to know, because I think I'm missing one Mortician album. I can't remember which one it is. It might be Chainsaw Dismemberment, actually. I know I've hacked up for Barbecue, Horror of the Zombies. I have the recent stuff that they've done. I know I'm missing like one album. I love Mortician, though. Nate, I know Big Will's vocals can be hit or miss for people. Oh man, I've always liked his vocals. His name is Will Smith, oddly enough. Not to make fun of him, but he used to be. He's been in a lot of bands. He used to be the singer for what's that band? I was really in. I really loved their album last year. I don't think he was on that. Artificial Brain. Artificial Brain. Another one of my like semi-recent favorites. They're not super new. Peter, you haven't heard Afterbirth? Check him out. Amazing technical death metal. Their early stuff was just really good, brutal, like New York style death metal. But I think they're getting better and better and better. And I think they're at the top of their game right now, easily. Lucifixion, huh, Scott? I'm not familiar, but I will check it out for sure. So many, yeah, Simon, I'm with you, man. I usually don't check out Black Friday deals because there are a lot of good deals, but it's like so much, and I'm worried that like I don't want to be tempted, to spend all my money. 7 carts going at various websites. Yeah. Oh man, I know that's like. So let's see. What are some of my other favorites of this year so far? I got the new Austere album. Austere are like a depressive black metal band from Australia. They've been around a while. They haven't had an album in a long time. One of my favorites of the style, and I like that style. So they haven't had an album since 2009, and that album got a lot of attention. I loved it. So yeah, first album in 14 years or whatever. Came out on Lupus Lounge. I don't have a copy yet, but it's really good. I don't know if it's as good as some of their earlier stuff, but I mean, it's still good. It's almost not fair to compare bands' material when they haven't had anything in 14 years or whatever. I think it's kind of unfair to say that. So I'm trying not to say, oh, their older stuff's better, but it's for what it is for there being like a 14-year wait. It's really good. Peter, are you talking about the Afterbirth album? Yeah, if you are, the cover definitely has that like abstract art look to it. If I didn't know the band already, I probably wouldn't have blind bought it just off the artwork. I'm with you there. Andre, I've not heard No One Gets Out Alive, but I will look into it. All right, so the Austere album, really cool, really good depressive black metal. Probably going to make my top 10, but we'll see. Also from France, we got Epheles, Epheles. They've been around a pretty long time at this point. They had some really cool demos in like the earlier 2000s. They're just one of those like great French black metal bands. Pretty much on the raw side, but very I don't know what else to say. They're just amazing raw black metal. Very kind of obscure, but awesome. I've loved them for a long time. They have a new album out, and I think maybe it hasn't been too long. Let me look on the Epheles. I discovered Epheles on the Cosmic Hearse blog. I don't know if any of you guys used to follow Cosmic Hearse. I'm sure some of you have, because it was a big deal for a lot of people. It was a music blog ran by Aesop Decker, ex Agalloch drummer, and I learned about a lot of gems from that guy, from that blog. So Epheles, yeah, they haven't had an album since 2011. So it looks like this new one came out on Drakkar, and it is really good. I've only listened one time so far, but it's awesome. They're probably one of the French black metal bands that I hear the least amount of like people talking about, but they've always been really good. Really, really good. Peter, not heard any new black metal bands, just still listening to the classics. Yeah, I hear you there, man. there's enough classic stuff to tide us over for life, really. I mean, pulled out the first 2 Enthroned albums to listen to. Those are good. Those are the best Enthroned albums, in my opinion. They have other good stuff too, but those first two are the best, definitely. Let's see. I've listened to the newest Impetuous Ritual album. Like that a lot. Probably know that band. Impetuous Ritual, they're kind of like a cousin band to Portal. They have some Portal members or have had some come and go throughout the years, one of the two or both. So they do sound a little bit like Portal, but a little more focused. A little bit. They're still pretty out there. They're still pretty crazy, but not as obscure as Portal. More death metal, more straightforward death metal, but still not straightforward death metal, if that makes any sense. I've always thought they're really cool, and their new album is great. So Impetuous Ritual. Andre, I don't really know new bands. I understand that. I know it's so easy to kind of just like stop paying attention and, you know, just kind of drop off a little bit. But I think it's important to at least push yourself to try to stay connected. I don't want to become that guy where it's like I haven't heard anything new in 20 years or whatever. I just don't want that to happen. And you become just like so disconnected. What else? Ruim, not Ruin, but Ruim, Ruim. Cool band. It is a kind of, I don't know, I don't think I'd call it a solo project, but it is a 2-person project, including Blasphemer, the guy that used to be in Mayhem. He replaced Euronymous, was in Mayhem a long time. And so he's got an album out, band called Ruim. I think it's Peaceville Records, and I'm still digesting this one because it's very complex, but it's really cool. If you like Grand Declaration of War era Mayhem, and I know a lot of people had problems with that album, and I kind of did too. I like it now. But if you like this, yeah, some of the Mayhem stuff that he did, this is like a direct continuation of that, and which I think is perfect. I think that's exactly what it should be. So check that album out. It's really cool. I'm still soaking it in. Looking forward to the new Varathron. Me too. Actually, thanks for the reminder. I that's one I would definitely want to pick up. The last album was really good. I can't argue with you saying it's their best. It was so good. The only problem I think I have with current Varathron is maybe production's just a little bit too clean, but I can get over that. It's most important, you know, is the songwriting, of course. Yeah, no, they're Varathron. Out of the old Greek bands, I think Varathron might be the best. Still going, you know, from the early days. And that's, yeah, I can't think of anyone doing it better. Maybe Kawir. Actually, they're probably the best. Varathron probably second best. Andre, so many classic albums to buy. Yeah, you're right. A lot of the times I like to focus on that too. I try to like get the old classic stuff that I don't have because you can't have all of it. Let's see. Salacious Gods. I'll put that one in the chat because he might not understand what I'm saying because it's kind of a weird band name, right? Salacious Gods. That is a Dutch black metal band formed in like the earlier to mid 90s. I think their debut album was from like 94, I think. And they had a really cool debut album, and I hadn't heard any of their other stuff, but their new album is so good. I'm gonna pull it up here. Yeah, so they hadn't had an album since 2005. I hadn't heard it. Their debut came out in '99, and I really liked it. I still like it, but their new album is awesome. It's just like they're from the Netherlands, but it's like it's more like Scandinavian style, like early to maybe mid 90s Scandinavian style. Some of it's really fast. But some of it's more rocking, like Kraft. Some of it sounds like Kraft from Sweden. It's a good album. I don't hear anyone talking about that one. Simon, I haven't listened to Verathron for over 2 albums now. Yeah, I kind of lost touch with them too, but I think you'll be surprised at their newer stuff at how good it is. It's like surprisingly good. Took me by surprise for sure. I mean, I love like Rotting Christ are one of my favorite bands, but their modern stuff is very hit and miss. I think at best it's pretty good. I certainly wouldn't call it great though. I'm glad they're still trying and I'm glad they're still out there, but Rotting Christ haven't been great for a good while. And Verathron still very much have it. So yeah, I'm gonna buy that new Verathron album. Let's see what else. I know there's other stuff. So this band called Jord, Jord. Never heard anyone talk about them, but I just kind of randomly found them. They have a new album on Hammerheart Records. Hammerheart's had some, or not Hammerheart. Yeah, Hammerheart. Hammerheart's had some good stuff. Some good stuff lately. Unsubbed. Hey, you wouldn't be the first one, Scott. I still love Rotting Christ. Don't get me wrong. They're one of my favorite bands. And I will listen. I still buy their new stuff too. I still buy the new releases. They just haven't blown me away. I think you're kidding. But maybe not. If you think they're great, then I'm kind of envious of you. I still buy the new Rotting Christ stuff, though. Nate, one black metal album I like a lot from this year is a band called Pat. I'm not going to try to pronounce that, but Russian, you think? A lot of good black metal out of Russia over the years. A lot. And a lot of it kind of goes kind of unnoticed a lot of the time. But yeah, some great bands from Russia. Not too many that I know of like currently, but some Russian black metal from the past I love. Andre loves Old Rotting Christ and Septic Flesh. Oh yeah, me too. Those I like most Septic Flesh albums. They kind of lost me. They kind of lost me over the last few. They've just become like, I don't know, way too symphonic. I think it's still pretty cool music though, but the first half or 3/4 of their career, Septic Flesh, was pretty awesome. I saw them live one time and they were cool. Yo, what's up, Roger? Good to see you, man. Yeah, Scott. Yeah, I agree. I do like the modern Rotting Christ stuff. I think it's pretty good. It's they don't have a terrible album by any means. I think they're trying their best. It would be nice to see them rein it back in and go a little bit old school, but still, you know, what can you do? Yeah, Andre, big black metal scene in Russia. Such a big country. Like you look at Russia on the map, you're like, holy fuck, man. It's the massive country, and yeah, for some reason, black metal seems to be like Russia's music of choice. Like you see some death metal sometimes in Russia, but I feel like maybe it's just because it's so cold over there. I don't know. Black metal seems to be your guys' thing. Simon Lack, last Rotting Christ album you got was Theogonia. That was their last really good album. That I thought that album was awesome. Everything since then has kind of been not as good, but yeah, the Theogonia album's great. I mean, I haven't listened to it in like 10 years, but I loved it when it came out. So I'd probably still have the same opinion. Nate, I haven't checked out the new Suffocation yet. I'm hearing really good things. I've never been a huge Suffocation fan. That said, I have been a fan in the past. I own most of their old stuff. So like I haven't heard too many good things about like their last 2 or 3 albums, but I'm hearing a lot of talk about this new one. So I think that's probably a good sign. So I'll definitely check that out. What do you think about it? Roger Rotting Christ, too barky vocals. Now I think Sakis's vocals I think are a little bit shot. If you listen to that live album, that like 3-disc live album they put out a couple years back, his vocals sound really, really rough. So I think, you know, in the studio, I think he's doing his best, but yeah, I think his voice is pretty well shot, sadly. Yeah, Simon, you spelled it right. At least from my memory. Yotheria was recently a pleasant surprise from Greece. Yep. Yotheria is really cool. Um, I think that band has some old dudes in it, if I remember correctly, like a one of the guys from Verathron. Let me look it up. I want to say it's yeah, it's like older dudes, which is of course a good sign for Greece. Looking it up because I can't remember. I know that there's some old. Oh yeah, Jim Mutilator from Rotting Christ and Verathron's in that band. You got a drummer who I'm not real familiar with, and then you got a guy from On Thorns I Lay. That's an older Greek band, not black metal, but okay. And then the other guitarist, not familiar with the bands he's been in. So I guess it was Jim Mutilator is the guy I was thinking of. Okay, you had the Magus from Thou Art Lord and ex Rotting Christ, ex The Mile. He was in the band for 4 years. But I guess he's gone now. So that is actually kind of a bummer. That's okay. That's okay. I'm still gonna look forward to Yotheria had an EP out this year, just last month that I don't know about. So that is now on my list. So good call bringing that up. Scott, yeah, looks like we're on the same page. Yeah, Yotheria is great. Yep, the Magus from Necromantia. Yeah, it looks like, dude, it looks like he just left recently though, which is kind of a bummer, but that's okay. I'm not gonna write the band off for that, but that kind of a bummer that he left. And Jim Mutilator. And Andre, is that the proper spelling? Because I'm not familiar with that band, but I'll definitely look into it. I'll make a list here of stuff to look into. Nate, you really like The Last Suffocation? Best thing they've done in a long time. Cool. It's always good to see an older band like, come back, or even if they've like been consistently putting out albums. It's cool. It's good to see them like actually get better instead of kind of, tread the same ground or get worse. Okay. Okay, you're talking about Magus. I probably read that wrong. He's probably still in the band. He just doesn't tour. On Metal Archives, it says, and this could be wrong. The Metal Archives says that he left in 2023, but don't ever take Metal Archives to be 100% correct because it's not. It's usually pretty accurate, but I've seen it. I've seen many mistakes there before. So it looks like it looks like he only did vocals. Like on this new EP they did, he only did vocals on one of the tracks. So I don't know. We'll see. Still want to hear it. Roger, Ukrainian black metal. So I don't know that name, but Ukraine is one of my favorite countries for black metal, so I'm already interested. I'll write that one down. Have you seen the Catharsis tape box coming out soon? I haven't. Holy shit, though. I'm going to look that up now, too, because I love Catharsis. Probably my favorite black metal band to come out of Germany ever. Assuming we're talking about the same band, I believe we are. So good. World Without End. That's my favorite album from 2006. It's just, I don't know. It's just magical. Like, it's so violent, but yet I don't know, the atmosphere with the violence and everything is just, it's perfect. I'm not very good at describing things, but yeah, one of my favorites. Okay. And they had an EP. Oh no, that was okay. I haven't even heard the stuff that they did in like 2009. Great Hunter in the Sky really blew me away. Saw them live. It was without him. Cool. Oh shit. Germany. That's awesome, man. Yacht Theory alive. So you live in Germany, I assume, or man, that's one band I don't think I'll ever get to see live, but never say never, I guess. So my buddy's still having trouble getting in for some reason. I don't know why. Notre Dame, yeah, I remember that band with Snowy Shaw. Snowy Shaw. I actually kind of like that stuff. I haven't heard all of it, but that Notre Dame, very weird. That's not going to be for everybody. Very weird, kind of gothic-y black metal. I dig a lot of that kind of stuff, which I know is probably going to be not everyone's cup of tea, but I like some of that, like Cradle of Filth and stuff. I don't know, old Dimmu Borgir or like mid-period Dimmu Borgir. But yeah, I don't have any of the Notre Dame albums, but I kind of dig it actually. Let's see, what else have I? Oh yeah, so I was talking about Jord, Jord, black metal out of I think Sweden, if I remember correctly. Didn't really see anyone talking about them, and they have a new album out called Tundra. It's pretty cool. It's kind of like old Enslaved, old Borknagar, with maybe a little bit of Alcest in there. I think it's pretty good. I'm actually surprised that more people aren't talking about it. I'm sure some people are talking about it though. Just my circle of people is pretty small, but I'm liking that album so far. Alkaloid, yeah. Oh man, Nate, I remember Alkaloid. I didn't know they had a new album. I didn't even know they were together still. I'm gonna pull that up real quick if I can spell it right. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Shit. I think I heard their first album. Didn't know they had a second album, and didn't know they had a third. Sweet. And the reason I probably didn't know about that is because I kind of like fell off the I didn't fall off the earth, but I mean like I didn't really like that kind of death metal for a while, and now I don't know what happened, but I'm like way more open to it now than I have been in the past. More technical death metal and prog death metal, and it's got to be done a certain way, I think. But I'm open to those kinds of bands. So probably why I didn't know about Alkaloid in 2018 because I had no interest in that kind of stuff. But I do now, and I'd like to hear that. Andre, you love goth metal? I like some. Tulis for gothic black metal. I do like Tulis. I think they have a new album out too, don't they? Yes. Yeah, I do like Tulis. I like the early stuff the most, of course, but like the first two albums. And I have their 2007 album. It's pretty good. So I haven't heard Tulis since 2007, and they've had 3 albums. So yeah, I like Tulis. I like Cold. I like that kind of stuff. I think, in my opinion, Tulis they sound more like Cold now than they did, at the beginning. That's okay. I know it has some of the same guys. Peter First Cradle album is the only good one. Just the fact that you at least like that, I'm totally okay with. I like the first 3 and the EP that came out around that time. But I like Cradle of Filth. I don't think they have a terrible album. I do think they have some albums that are kind of boring, but I like some of their later stuff too. But yeah, I really like the first 3, 4 albums, somewhere in there. Get a couple Notre Dame albums. I actually would like to pick some of their stuff up. Just never have had any of it. Simon found a Notre Dame CD in a charity shop. Yeah, Osmos. I remember them being on Osmos. Tits on the cover, which just want me to buy it. It's pretty good. I know which one you're talking about, unless they have numerous albums with tits on the cover, which that's possible. That's cool that you like it, though. I like it. Yeah, Scott, I understand. I can totally understand someone not liking it at all. It's pretty over the top stuff, but I don't know. I guess I have a I guess I have a soft spot for some of that stuff, not all of it. Hammer of the Witches was very good. Yeah, that was the best Cradle of Filth album in a long time. They followed it up now with 2 albums that were okay. Hold on real quick. It looks like my buddy is I think he's figured his stuff out. And so I think I'll bring him in. It'll be a nice surprise for you guys. And he doesn't know what I've been talking about for the last half hour, but that's okay. I'll just bring him in. What's up, dude?
Jesus damn Christ.
Yeah, you're here.
I'm fucking.
I didn't think you were gonna make it, but that's cool. I've just been talking.
I don't know what's going on with it, but
That's okay. You're here now. Now I've just been talking and talking. What's up, Black Death? So, like I said, you guys know this face. You might have forgotten by now, but it'll jog your memory. Yeah. How's it going, man?
Well, all right, I guess. I was having a better day till my phone decided to be a piece of shit.
Well, it's working now.
Well, apparently I had it blocked on Chrome. I'm like, why would I do that? It doesn't make sense.
Just it's probably one of those technological things where it's like there's no reason for it.
Yeah, I don't know what the hell's going on with it. Fuck it.
Yeah.
Here we are.
Yeah. I've just been talking to these guys about new albums, which I know you're not going to have anything to say about that. So we can talk about something else.
But my kid decided to call me right when I finally get this thing to work. So.
That is the only downside to using your phone is like, yeah, if you get interruptions, but whatever.
She'll probably call me 1,000 times, knowing her.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I was saying, yeah, I've just been talking to these guys about new albums, but I doubt you have any input on that. So, unless I'm wrong.
I'm not really listening to anything new lately. It's bad.
I didn't think so.
Whatever.
I know where you're at mentally right now. So, I know you've been kind of taking a break from music a little bit.
Nah, not really. Just, I'll listen to old shit and stuff I've had forever, but in terms of anything new, I'll see it pop up, but it's not like I'm really bothered to take it out.
Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah, Kevin and I have, we've been talking about collaborating for probably at least 3 years now, maybe 4.
At least.
Like, I want to say at least 2000, maybe, or not 2000, 2020. Yeah, back when I was a teenager still. No, but yeah, since at least 2020, maybe earlier. But yeah, so we've this is kind of a long time coming. We have some ideas that we want to do. A lot of it's going to be like movie oriented, but we might dip into music from time to time.
Yeah, I've still got some music I can talk about.
We haven't really talked about that at all. It's all gone to movie stuff.
It's been movies a lot lately.
Yeah.
This is fun. I'll talk about that all day too.
Yeah, honestly, I'm still listening to a lot of music, but like my attention's kind of shifted, just skewed a little bit towards movies lately. I'm trying to find a balance, like a 50-50 balance, but I'm really like, I don't know. I'm just really like excited about movies lately for some reason. And I can't help it.
For me, movies when I don't have anything to do at the end of the night, and music during the day when I'm trying to stay busy. So that's kind of the way I'm hitting my balance.
Yeah. I've been like nerding out about it lately. I'm like, I'm just trying to watch everything that I can and trying to catch up on like old classic stuff that I never have seen. And yeah, I didn't really grow up watching old stuff too much. So I'm trying to watch like all the old black and white stuff. And I don't know. I'm just really motivated with horror movies and even like non-horror lately.
That's what I've been doing.
Yeah.
Knocking them shits out.
Yeah, I'm trying to catch up on stuff like that. Like I'd never really seen a full Universal movie until like the last couple years, I think.
Yeah, and you were talking about Hammer a while back, weren't you? Like I
Yeah.
really need to start getting.
Yeah, Hammer I've seen a lot of Hammer stuff, but even then, I've only really seen that stuff recently. Like I didn't grow up watching any of that.
I was, which is weird because when I think about going to the movie store, all I would do is kind of go down the horror section, just looking at the artwork. It wasn't like Mom was going to ruin any of it, but you know, I would always kind of do what looked cool. And I have such a vivid memory of doing shit like that.
Yeah, me
I found
too.
out about it.
Yeah, me
like
too.
way before I heard of it, you know, I knew who Pinhead was, and
yeah, same here.
Hellraiser, that looks awesome. It's not really. It's got parts that are good, but
I love Hellraiser.
I love it.
The first two.
Yeah, the first movie for sure is very slow paced.
Yeah, it is
kind of boring. Still love it.
Yeah.
As a kid, I'm like, holy, this got to be like the most evil fucking thing ever made.
Yeah.
And then you're like,
I actually like the second one a lot. That might be my favorite, part two.
Well, people hate on it. I like the third one.
I like the third one too. Yeah, I like the third one not as much, but I like it. And I actually like the fourth one too when they're in space. It's decent.
I don't remember seeing the fourth one.
It's decent.
First three for sure. Do I have the second one? I don't think I do.
Oh shit! I might have an extra copy. I'll check. I'll send it to you if I do. Oh yeah, Scott. Hellraiser 3 has Armored Saint in the soundtrack. I don't know if you remember that. Yeah, I love Armored Saint. No, the third one's not bad. It with a bigger budget, it could have been a little better, but it's worth watching, and I always liked it. But lately I'm kind of digging the fourth one. But that might be where I draw the line. But the fourth one's cool. I don't know. It's cool. It's where it's worth watching. Need patience to sit through Oppenheimer. Yeah, it's a long movie.
Is it any good?
I haven't seen it still. I mean, I'm sure it's a good movie. That it's not really what I'm interested in currently, but I'll probably give it a watch. I mean, I'm sure it's a great movie. I like Cillian Murphy. I'm actually not a huge fan of what's his name, the director. I mean, I think he's a great director, but I'm not a fanboy necessarily. I'll probably check it out.
You're talking about it on the stream last week, and I totally forgot about it. And I was like, oh yeah, Nosferatu. I'm sure that'll suck. And then you're like, Eggers is on there. I'm like, oh, I forgot about that.
Yeah, so, that's it. Yeah, Nosferatu. I mean, that's a remake that obviously you're going to get a lot of flack for doing, but I think Robert Eggers will do it right.
I mean, if it wasn't such an all-time classic, you know, I could really kind of. That's where people are going to have a problem.
Yeah, people are going to be mad about it instantly, which is kind of dumb.
But I mean, give it a fair shake. Of course, that's coming from somebody who says all the time, you know, bitching about the writer's strike. I'm like, y'all haven't written anything good in decades. In my opinion, like, you know, all you ever make is remakes.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of good. There's a lot of good indie horror. But yeah, as far as like mainstream stuff, mainstream film has been suffering for a while, for a good while.
And I'll go ahead and admit, Eli is a far more, what would you call it, movie buff, bigger movie buff than me. I'm kind of more of I like what I like, and I don't really branch outside of that too much. It's not like music where I'm
gonna challenge you though. I'm gonna push you a little bit.
Well, I definitely need it. I'm just saying, like, it's not like music where I'll kind of check out anything.
Yeah.
You know, movies, it's not something specific. I'll get very bored a lot of times.
Yeah, that's understandable. But I'll at least give you like horror recommendations and stuff. It'd be cool to it'll be cool to like push you out of your comfort zone a little bit and get you to talk about, you know, some stuff that you wouldn't have known about otherwise.
Yeah. Well, I've still got 3 or 4 in here that I even watched this recently.
Yeah, I've been watching exclusively stuff that I've never seen lately.
Yeah, Event Horizon. High Tension I've not watched yet. It was ridiculous.
Event Horizon would be a cool one to talk about.
Yeah, we can do that for sure.
Yeah.
I think it's honestly a lot of it. I've been on such an old school kick. It's been really hard to get into anything else.
Yeah.
Like last night I watched first two Rockies. Today I watched Rocky Balboa. I'm really about to go back and watch Rocky 3 now. Even though I hate that movie, but I'm about to do it.
I haven't seen that since I was a little kid. Growing up, I liked all the Rocky movies, but I bet some of them probably don't hold up as well as some of the others. You know, obviously the first two.
Two are really good.
Yeah.
The fourth one that just has that it's cheesy 80s nostalgia.
Yeah.
So I like that. But 3 was so over the top. I've never liked that one. You know, I can never really get into. I'll watch it, but it's just like fuck that movie. I could be watching something else.
Yeah, I thought Rocky Balboa was actually pretty good. Like, it's one of those movies where it's like you can tell when Stallone believes in something that he's doing. You know what I mean?
Oh.
And he takes the Rocky character very seriously. I don't think Stallone would ever do a Rocky movie that he didn't feel like doing. You know, he doesn't need the money, and like he has so much like invested in that character. Like, I don't think you're ever going to see like an insincere Rocky performance out of Stallone.
I mean, at this point, he can't really do it anymore anyway. So
no, I don't. I think Rocky's, you he can't do any more boxing movies. But like, I've actually heard that the Creed movies are really good.
Yeah, that's where I was going with that. Is like, I'm kind of glad that if they're going to continue his story, they're at least going with, okay, this kid's doing it now.
Yeah, and I really like the idea of it being like Apollo's like, you know, long lost son, and I think that's a really cool idea.
And that way he can kind of transfer away as Rocky comes on, and then Apollo's kid can move up.
Yeah, he's just like a coach now, basically, or like a mentor, you know. But no, I didn't have any interest in the Creed movies like as they were coming out, but then I started hearing they're really good, so I'm gonna check them out next chance I get.
Yeah, I've got to get to all 3 of those actually. I've heard the second 2 were just but the first one was really good. So,
yeah, that's what I've heard too. Yeah,
but we'll
I'll give them a watch. Simon, you watched Tusk the other night? I love Tusk, actually. Tusk, I love it. That's not for everyone. I thought it was great. It's a Kevin Smith movie. It's really good. I like this weird Kevin Smith stuff like Tusk, and I really loved Red State too. Check out Red State if you haven't seen that. I mean, Kevin Smith is awesome. Rocky IV into the Cold War. He sure did. You can end the Cold War. You can end any war by just punching somebody and having charisma. Rocky III is awesome with Mr. T. I liked it, but I haven't seen Rocky III since I was a little kid. But yeah,
I like Mr. T as a character in that movie. It's just, I don't know. There's something about it. Yeah, I don't know what it is. Yeah, I think honestly, like, you see him get beat down, and then he has to do this whole big build up at the end, and then he just beats Clever Lang so fast. It's kind of like, okay, wait a minute, you know, he finally came back, and then he just kills him, and then okay,
yeah. That's true. And like you said, it's more of like, it's a very 80s movie, but like, it doesn't have the serious vibes. The first one has that like serious drama side, and that's what made it such a good movie, you know? Yeah,
the second 2 is so much 80s cheese.
Yeah.
But I don't know, man, there's something about the fourth one. I still love that one. I can't help myself.
I'm gonna rewatch all those movies now. Now I'm in the mood to watch Rocky.
Yeah, I forgot I had this box set up here, and I was like, oh yeah, we'll just knock all these out. I'm gonna say 4 for, I don't know, just the first 6.
Oh yeah.
I kind of wish they had to put the Creed movies on here too.
Oh yeah.
That'd have been nice. I could at least get those done.
Simon, always think of Predator when I see Carl Weathers. I do too.
Yeah, you can't not.
But those are his iconic characters, Predator, and Rocky, obviously. He's done other cool stuff too, but those were like, everyone knows him for those. You can't help it. Predator is an amazing film.
Oh, and Chubbs. That was him, right?
I think they're working on a new Predator already. I thought the last one was pretty good, maybe a little overrated, but still pretty good. It was worth watching. But the first, yeah, the original never gets old. Second one's pretty cool, and then after that, it's kind of hit and miss. But I think Predator should definitely be like a franchise, because I liked what they did with the recent one where it goes back to like, you know, pre-colonial America. But when you think about it, it'd be cool to see like you could pick like any time in history and have like a cool Predator storyline. You know, like can you imagine like Predators like fighting Vikings or like fighting Roman soldiers or Nazis or something? Like I think it'd be cool. Like just pick a cool time period and like you could make a cool Predator movie out of it.
Here's a question. I've thought about this a lot. How would that series or that franchise have been different if Arnold had been in the rest of them?
Yeah. I mean, it would have been better, obviously, but
I mean, Arnold makes everything better.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. I don't know why he wasn't in the second one. It had to have been probably like he just didn't want to do it or something like that. I'm sure they offered him the role, you know. Surely they did. My guess is he didn't want to do it or he was busy doing something else probably, but
I have no idea.
Yeah. Andre Van Damme played Predator. He was going to. Van Damme was going to play the character the Predator, but he didn't like the idea of playing a character where he couldn't show his face because he's so pretty. And he didn't like that. He didn't want to play a character with a mask, you know, where he had to wear a mask. So yeah, he was going to be the Predator originally, but it just didn't work out.
Didn't they actually shoot a lot of him in the Predator costume?
Yeah. There's pictures. You can see pictures and stuff with him in the suit.
Yeah, because I'm pretty sure they redesigned it after that.
Yeah. He's not tall enough, though. Like, because the guy that they used to play Predator, I think he's like 7 foot. You need a big dude. I mean, Van Damme is probably 6 foot something, but like you need someone that towers over Arnold, you know, not someone the same height.
Well, I mean, I always thought you could use like a short guy and a tall guy to be like, you know, right there with Arnold. And you have the short, agile guy kind of doing the, running through the jungle scenes and tracking them and stuff.
Yeah, true. He doesn't have to be super tall necessarily.
No, I mean, I get where he was coming from in a sense at the time because Van Damme was already a pretty big star.
Yeah, his ego was too big.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. The guy that did it did a great job. So. I think he was Kevin Peter Hall. I thought he was a basketball player, or I might be thinking of. I thought he was a basketball player, maybe not pro, but yeah, I think he's like 7 foot. Yeah, he's the guy. He's the guy that played Harry in Harry and the Hendersons. Same dude. You remember that movie?
Vaguely.
It was John Lithgow. I'm sure you've seen it.
Well, I just remember them releasing him back into the wild at the end.
Yeah,
that's what I ever thought.
Yeah, I haven't seen it in like 30 years, but I thought it was funny. John Lithgow and.
It's been at least 30 years since I've seen it.
Interesting piece of movie history, though. Same guy playing Harry and Predator. Hey, I mean that's a good claim to fame, if you ask me. It's more than I've done. It dwarfs any of my accomplishments.
I was in Harry and the Hendersons. Yeah, well, fuck you too.
Yeah. Fuck that. But yeah, man. Looking forward to coming up with some cool collaboration stuff. Liking some of the ideas that we've came up with so far. And it'll be cool, like doing movie stuff with you because we will our opinions will probably differ a lot. So it'll be a lot of like contrast, and which is more interesting, you know, than just two people with the same exact opinions, you know?
Well, yeah, because one of us is sitting there.
Yeah. I love this. Me too. It's perfect. Yeah. So I think it'll be cool. And most importantly, it'll be cool to push you into, getting out of your comfort zone a little bit, because your comfort zone is way too comfortable.
When it comes to movies, yeah, you're not even kidding. Like, let's see, what's the rarest, or not rare, but what's the word?
Obscure.
Obscure thing I own. Yeah, probably this Hammer box set where it's got a bunch of movies that nobody cared about. Let's see what it's on.
People love Hammer stuff.
Yeah, I'm not saying they don't, but it's not like, the Christopher Lee Draculas around here.
Gotcha. Oh, the lesser known Hammer stuff.
Yeah, you got Paranoiac is on here.
Cool.
Nightmare, Night Creatures.
Oh shit. Well, that's actually cool because we all know the most known stuff. And Peter no, it was called Harry and the Hendersons in the US. From what I remember. I don't remember it being called Bigfoot. No. Yeah, it'd be cool to go through the Hammer stuff because I still haven't seen at least half of it.
I've seen the first Dracula and the rest of them bits and pieces all the way through.
Yeah.
And I want to say a long time ago I saw part of the first Frankenstein.
Yeah.
And that might have been it. I think I've seen clips of Christopher Lee playing the Mummy, but I don't think I've seen any of the actual movies.
Yeah. I watched not too long ago. I watched the original Mummy. Wasn't a big fan of it, to be honest. It was kind of boring in my opinion.
The original Universal Mummy?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's boring as fuck.
I mean, I watched the whole thing, but I was like, oh my god, I'm struggling here. Yeah.
I made it all the way through. It has maybe 4 scenes that are entertaining. The rest of it is just like, get on with it.
I figured I had to finish it. I owed it enough to I had to finish the movie, but it was a tough.
Well, I mean, that's the thing, and I literally just got him tattooed on me, but when you think of the most important Universal movies, that one's always brought up, and I'm like, it's not that great.
Oh, I don't think it's. I'd have a hard time saying it was one of the most important. One of the most important characters,
Yeah, but that's what I meant. But it's kind of like, well, why?
Yeah.
Because really, when you think Karloff is only in the bandages for that first scene, and that's it.
Yeah.
I mean, never see him like that again.
Yeah, that's why he didn't like playing that character, because probably because it was boring for him. He didn't like it because there wasn't much for him to do.
They could have shown him killing people or something. You do see I think somebody says the first, or maybe one of the first impalement scenes ever in a movie.
Oh, really?
Yeah, where it's showing how they when they mummified him alive, and the Pharaoh had the guards killed.
Yeah.
By the other guards or whatever. You see the guy get speared.
Yeah.
Okay. Supposedly it's the first, it's not one of the first impalements.
Oh, okay.
It looks pretty.
Yeah. Like Scott says, there's barely even a mummy in it. It's true. You don't even see the mummy very often. I don't know what they were thinking.
But just dusty. Yeah.
It was like almost 100 years ago, so who knows?
But I mean, even okay, you can say it's boring, but Dracula's slow as hell. But there's just something that draws you in about that one.
Yeah, it's true. It's the atmosphere of some of the others. Yeah, they're not all like super action packed or anything,
And I think if you had seen him not as often in the Mummy, maybe it would have been better. Like maybe you see him doing some lurking around.
Yeah.
Something like that. Something to just kind of, because it's like, okay, well, here he is. So it's like, okay, he's just a guy with dry skin. That's what he looks like. Not really.
Great tits in the Hammer films. That is true. You could tell, like, whenever they had a female character in those Hammer movies, it was always like, the blonde British chick with like just giant boobs. But yeah, I mean, they knew what people wanted to see. I just watched recently Frankenstein Must Be Destroyed for the first time. That was a good one. But I like all the Frankenstein stuff.
Wait, that was a Hammer one, wasn't it?
It was, yeah. With third
one. Peter Cushing.
Is it the third?
I think it's the third one.
I didn't even know. I just watched it randomly. I really liked it though.
First one was Curse of Frankenstein.
Oh, okay.
And then then Frankenstein must be destroyed. I'm pretty sure that's the order. I might be wrong.
You're probably right. Because I don't know. Yeah, no, I thought it was really good though. Peter Cushing is just such an asshole.
Oh, he's great.
Yeah,
He is so good.
he's like just so despicable. Like he just plays the perfect, like, he's so despicable, but like he's so entertaining at the same time. You're like, I know I'm supposed to hate this guy, but I in a way I kind of like him.
I've not seen a movie that he's in that I didn't applaud his acting ability.
Yeah.
Whether he's bad, it's like just killing this role.
Yeah, he's always great.
Like, have you seen the Hound of the Baskervilles, Hammer?
No, I haven't seen that one yet.
Pretty damn good. He's a great Sherlock Holmes. I don't know if anybody's into that, but Hammer did a Hound of the Baskervilles.
Cool.
And Christopher Lee's in that one also, but Peter Cushing kills that role. Like, he does everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, he's great. He's great. Yeah.
2, 3, 7, 9, somewhere in there.
Yeah. Yeah. Another thing that's going to be cool, if you still want to do it, is the idea that we had with the X-Files.
Yes. Yes,
Yeah.
it is.
Is that streaming anywhere? I mean, I have all the box sets, but
I think Amazon has it right
okay.
now.
It's got to be streaming. It's too popular to not be streaming somewhere.
I know I've seen it pop up. Maybe Freevee and one of those has it.
Yeah. Yeah, that's something I'd be really interested in doing, is like going through like episode by episode and just doing like a discussion about each episode, just one at a time. Because I've been doing it with Seinfeld lately, just by myself. But I'll dig as deep as I can into trying to find little facts about it and stuff. So like the last one I did, I got like 7 pages of notes off a half-hour episode. So with X-Files, I'm sure I could get quite a bit of stuff to talk about.
Well, and that too. I mean, as you start at the beginning, it only gets more and more deep as you go along.
Yeah, exactly. And I would love to rewatch that show and like rewatch it with like a purpose, like other than just watching it, but like trying to, kind of critique it in a way. I think it'd be really cool.
Because even though I was like, thinking about the Twilight Zone, the first season is really good. And I think I'm 2 episodes from being done with the second season. Now it's just like a huge drop off. I mean, I'm not saying the episodes aren't bad, but when you compare them to the first season, it's just kind of, I saw that coming.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I haven't seen a lot of those later ones either, like beyond the first season.
Yeah, the first season so far is by far the best. I think the first half, which is probably because they were in production at the same time, the first half of the second season was good.
Mm-hmm.
And let's see, I've got the whole series, and it's 5 discs for each season. So yeah, I would say a good half of the second season has just been meh.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I remember watching some of that stuff when I grew up, but then I didn't really watch it for a long time. And I watched some of the first season a couple of years back, and I was like pretty blown away by how good it was. Like I did not expect it to hold up so well. I'm like, this is actually really creepy, like it's exactly what it should have been,
Kind of, like where are they even going with this? And then what you think is going to happen, they pull it completely out of left field, and I didn't see that coming.
Yeah.
Probably the last 4 or 5 I watched, either it didn't really have a plot twist or it was I figured it out. Like half episode at the latest. It was kind of
not very creative.
I mean, at the time I could see it, but you've seen so much stuff, it just you're naturally gonna I bet this and this will happen.
Yeah, that's true.
Like yesterday, I was getting ready to go to my mom's for Thanksgiving dinner. Turn the TV on just to have background noise. There's an episode of Friends on, which I do not give a fuck about ever. And I'm waiting on my kid to get ready, and I'm watching it, and whatever was going on, I was like, I bet this and this is going to happen. The episode had been on 10 minutes. I'm like, and sure enough, that's what happened.
Way too predictable.
Yeah. And I was like, there we go. That's kind of how the Twilight Zone episodes have been for me anyway.
Yeah. Peter's asking if anyone has watched Cobra Kai, which I know you have. You're a fan of that show.
I still have not seen the last season, but
Okay.
I don't know why. But
Yeah, I know you
it's
liked it a
really,
lot. I remember you were telling me to watch it, and I forgot about it.
yeah, it was really good. I've enjoyed it.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I mean, it's got its moments.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if you liked it as much as you said you did, that's probably saying a lot because I know you're a big Karate Kid fan. So you know,
Well,
it could have just been nostalgia and like they could have just
well, I
been
mean,
milking people's nostalgia.
that had a lot to do with it, but the series was still good as it went on.
Yeah,
But then it
exactly.
gets to the point where I'm like, you can't take it too much further without having some kind of resolution just ending the series,
Yeah.
or it's just going to.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
not something you could. Yeah, it'd be hard to keep going for too long. I don't know. Scott, I haven't seen Fall of the House of Usher yet, but I really want to see that. Mike Flanagan is one of the best directors out there, so I need to find where that's streaming because I've heard it. Have you heard of it, Kevin? Fall of the House of Usher.
Not the series, but the Vincent Price movie was really good.
Yeah,
I remember probably in 8th, 9th grade.
yeah,
Really
it's a
liked it.
series right now. It might be on. I don't know what streaming it's on, but I'm hearing great things. Director is a guy named Mike Flanagan, and he's fucking awesome. He's like one of the best. He's one of the best top 5 horror directors out there right now. It's on Netflix. Okay.
Oh, okay. I don't know
I
how.
haven't had a Netflix account for like 5 years. I might sign up for it just to watch that show, though.
Yeah, I had canceled mine for about 6, 7 months and got it back, and then I think I've maybe watched one movie on there since.
Yeah, I just don't like. I like streaming and everything, but I'll just forget. Like I'll have streaming services, and I'll just forget to watch them for like months at a time. So then I'm like, eventually I'll just cancel them. I'm like, why am I having these if I'm not going to watch them regularly? Um, I don't
That
know.
I'm
I
so
know they're
used
cheap
to
and
having
everything.
media anyway that I forget what's even on there. And then when you, oh yeah, I remember Netflix has whatever, and then you look it up. Oh, they've gotten rid of it now. It's like, well, God damn it!
Yeah,
Kind
I've
of
had that happen too. Where like you had 3 years
rid of
to watch it, and then you finally decide that you want to pull the trigger on it, and then it's gone. Shit.
me all the time.
But I've been watching I've been trying to catch up with my collection because I was buying so many movies there for a while that I had probably over 100 movies that I had never seen. So I've been like banging those out, and I'm almost done actually. So once I do that, then I might get a streaming service or two to try to keep up with some of the newer stuff. But yeah, I just it was bugging me. I had to watch. I got so tired of having all these movies that I'd never seen. I'm like, this needs to stop now, or I need to stop buying movies. So I've almost watched almost every night for the last like 3 months. I've been watching a movie that I've never seen, and now I'm almost done, and I feel really really good about that. Some good,
Yeah,
some terrible.
a lot of times picking up DVDs on Amazon. I'm probably going to the thrift store sometime tomorrow see if I can find any decent VHS tapes.
Cool. I found a few the other day. I got the Hobbit cartoon. Remember that? The Hobbit animated movie.
Oh,
I got that. And I got
fuck,
the original Blade with Leslie Snipes.
yeah.
One of my
I
favorites.
have this one's awesome. Just having it
Ooh,
on.
yeah.
It's just, yeah. I mean, you got to have your '80s action
That's one of my
movies on.
favorites, actually. That's of my childhood. That's like one of my top like 5 Arnold movies easily.
Dude, I argue about it at work all the time because everybody thinks I'm crazy. Commando fucking rules.
It does. It's awesome.
Yeah, it's stupid and it's corny, but it's
Yeah.
fucking great.
You know what I always thought was the funniest part about that movie is the villain. What's his name? Bennett. Remember the guy? I think his name was Bennett, right?
Yeah.
And he had like the chainmail vest on, and like he was so wimpy. Like it didn't make any sense because like he had to fight Arnold 1-on-1, but he's like half the size and he's like not in shape or anything. It's like who picked this guy?
Yeah. I just thought it was funny that he's some kind of, what was he, like a Green Beret or something?
Yeah.
And he needs weapons, so instead of just picking a lock and going inside this, army surplus store, let's just bulldoze a hole in the fucking wall. Nobody will know that.
I know. It's Arnold. You don't need to be tactful. Or the
But it's still awesome.
beginning of it where he's like carrying a fucking tree on his shoulder, like an entire tree. And I
Carrying
believe
a
that was
tree.
probably real. Like he probably did do that. Like it doesn't look fake at all.
I'm pretty sure they said that was real.
Yeah. Well,
But then, no, no.
the scene in Twins where he lifts up the car, he really did that.
Yeah.
Small car, but he still did it. I mean, any car. He didn't lift the whole car up, but he lifted the back end of it, you know. But that was real.
Did you see the documentary on him?
No.
I thought it was pretty decent.
No, I'd like to.
It skimmed over a lot of his movies, but I didn't really think. You know, it was more the point of what his life was like, pretty much.
Yeah.
Or has like. I thought it was good. There's one on Stallone I need to watch.
Cool. No, I'd totally watch that. I mean, Arnold was a big part of my childhood growing up. Like top three, top one really of action heroes. He's probably. I mean, no one was better. You know, who topped Arnold? Who topped Arnold in the 80s?
Yeah, I love Stallone, but Arnold is the king of the action movies.
Stallone might be number two. Stallone's probably number two. Yeah. Well, Stallone is a better actor. A much better actor, but Arnold couldn't act. But that wasn't the point. We're not talking about acting performances here.
There's just something about the way Arnold carried himself, and it's just fuck.
Like I mean, Arnold never had a Rocky. He never had a Rambo, but you know, he had great stuff in his own right.
I am never not in the mood to watch an Arnold movie.
No, me either. You know what movie I've been meaning to see with Arnold is I think it's called Maggie. You ever heard about that? It's like 5 or 10 years old. It's a recent one, but it's like a zombie movie. It's about like there's like a zombie outbreak and his daughter becomes contaminated, and it's about him trying to like save his daughter. And that's supposed to be like super like if he ever had a good acting role, it's that from what I've heard. Like he actually gives a decent performance and like really emotional and stuff.
The last one I remember coming out was, I think, right after he got out of office, where he's some kind of sheriff or something.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I haven't even seen that.
That is the last one I remember. He could have been right before he went. No, I think it was after.
Okay.
But I mean, even like some of his 90s movies, take Terminator aside, obviously, but
yeah.
Yeah.
Peter just brings up how good is Cobra. Cobra's badass with Stallone.
Oh yeah.
I actually watched that a couple of weeks ago. I'm like, oh, I forgot how good this is.
Yeah, it's oh shit, I'd say good.
He's always wearing his fingerless gloves.
It's been a good 12 years since I've seen that, so I definitely need to watch that one again.
Yeah, no, that's how it had been for me. So I'm like, I have this what is it called? I have this box set that has, God damn it, I'm drawing a blank. What was the company that made all those movies back then? I talk about it all the time, and then when I put myself on the spot, I can't remember. Canon. Yeah, it was a Canon film box set that had Cobra in it. So I had to watch it. I hadn't seen it in a long time. I'm like, this movie holds up. It's still awesome.
Yeah, I need to see it again. I mean, you think it'd be on TV a lot more, or at least streaming. I don't ever see it, but Cobra fucking.
You would think.
Yeah, I mean,
that's become now one of my favorite Stallone movies.
Oh yeah, sure.
Yeah, no, it's a really cool set. It's it's a Canon film set, so it's got like some Stallone stuff. It's got some Chuck Norris stuff. It's got a really cool documentary on Canon Films, just like its creation and stuff. Because anyone, whether you know it or not, like if you grew up in the 80s and 90s, you've seen a shitload of Canon films. You just again, whether you know it or not, you've seen at least 10. They were just cranking them out. They were cranking them out like sometimes like 10 or 15 movies a year. Not all of them are good, but
most of them probably aren't.
Yeah, no, most of them are bad, but you know, it's still a cool nostalgia piece. Tango and Cash is great as well. Yeah, Tango and Cash is another one of my favorites from childhood. Kurt Russell, Stallone.
It's a horrible movie. The acting is abysmal.
It's so fun.
Well, I was gonna say, but one of my favorite movies ever is fucking Cliffhanger. I can watch
Cliffhanger's
that.
good.
It's so bad, but I can't help myself.
I liked it at the time. I haven't seen that also in a long time, but I
I
loved
watched
it at the time.
Yeah, I did too. I watched it maybe 3-4 months ago, and I'm like, yeah, what? But I can't stop watching it because it's fucking awesome.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind rewatching that.
All the acting is terrible. Another John Lithgow movie. There you go.
Oh yeah,
circle.
John Lithgow back when he used to play villains. He was a good villain too.
Well, what sucks about the movie is everybody's trying to have a one-liner, and it just doesn't work.
That's true.
It's so bad, but it's good.
Kurt Russell is the king. Kurt Russell is the king in Tango and Cash. I love Kurt Russell though. Kurt Russell is easily one of my favorites.
There it is.
There it is. Yeah.
I actually got this from the video store when they closed down.
Oh, cool.
They were selling it off. So I was like, well, I'm happy to have that copy just for that reason. I think I still got.
I have a bunch of movies. With the video store stuff on them.
Oh, I love that. If I find that, that's a huge find for me. I'm stoked with those.
I have a bunch of VHS movies that are still in, those like plastic movie store cases, yeah. I still have a bunch of those.
Yeah, I used to have quite a few of them. I don't know what happened to any of them. I don't have them anymore.
Just recently, Good Guys Wear Black and Code of Silence on Blu-ray. Oh, Code of Silence. Shit. I forgot about that movie. I don't think I've seen Good Guys Wear Black. And the guy they call Conan was Maniac Cop. Robert Zadar. Yeah, that guy was awesome. That's another dude that people know, whether they know it or whether they know it or not. They know Robert Zadar. He was the guy. Kevin, remember that guy? He had like a huge chin. He had like it was like a birth defect that he had. So he was in a bunch of 80s action movies. Almost always played the villain because of the way he looked.
Is he one of those dudes that's in every conceivable movie, but no one knows who they are? Like, does that make sense?
Basically. Yeah, but he was so distinct looking though. You would recognize him because he doesn't look like anyone else. I think he was in Tango and Cash, if I remember correctly, but he was in a shitload of movies.
Well, it's like that dude, and I could be wrong. I may not be thinking of the same guy, but in American History X, where they're doing the flashback where his teacher comes by the house and he's giving him much shit. That guy plays in.
Yeah, that guy was in a shitload of movies too. Yeah. I used to know his name. I can't remember his name, but yeah, that guy was in the 90s. He was in fucking everything.
Yeah, and I kind of bring that up because I saw him on that episode of Friends yesterday. I'm like,
oh yeah, no doubt.
Every fucking movie I've ever seen.
Yeah, he was. I bet if you look that guy up on like IMDb, he's probably got hundreds of credits.
But it's like Jeffrey Jones. Is his name?
Jeffrey Combs, yeah.
He's in fucking everything.
The guy from Reanimator?
No, Jeffrey Jones.
Oh, Jeffrey Jones. Okay, I was.
Hollow. He's been every fucking movie ever made.
One of those dudes that like probably was never like a star actor, but probably still made a shitload of money just because he was in so many things, Yeah,
it's like you were never a star. You were always in a supporting role, and for whatever reason, that just worked for you.
Yeah.
Like I think like Terry Crews is one of the few that kind of broke out of that role.
Terry Crews.
He's in a lot.
Yeah.
He's in a lot of it.
Terry Crews is cool. I always liked him.
Yeah.
He seems like in real life he's probably a cool dude,
Oh, I'm sure he is.
Yeah. Just some people just give that vibe, like he seems like.
I mean,
yeah.
You always get these stars getting all the the Hollywood treatment, the spotlight. Yeah. I always wanted to see it'd be cool to see a documentary on these types of people who always play a supporting role, and they're in every movie ever.
That'd be cool, actually, a documentary, just about supporting like the most popular supporting actors. The people that like no one really knows their name, but they know their face. Those type of people.
It's like I was watching Rocky last night. The guy that plays the loan shark that he works for. I've seen him in something else besides that Maniac, and I actually looked up his IMDb, and I'm not seeing any of these movies, but why is he so damn recognizable to me?
Yeah.
That was kind of throwing me off. It's like I know this guy from something else besides that. But It was Maniac and Rocky and maybe one other thing. And I was like, I don't know. It was weird.
Yeah,
I
I
didn't even
feel
know
like in the 80s and 90s, like yeah, there were certain people that were just like go-to guys for the small roles, you know, and they would just reuse the same people. But I'm sure they weren't complaining, you know, the steady
well,
paychecks and
what was it in the 30s and 40s for sure? Like you were contracted to a studio, and you could only do studio specific films.
yeah.
I thought they ended that way later or way earlier. I mean, so
I
maybe
think
it is.
I think they did. Yeah, I think that hasn't been a thing for a while. I could be wrong though.
But they had a how DVDs always had the preview or whatever. It had an MGM, kind of saying, "Oh, check out all these other movies we made."
Yeah.
And I kind of just want to look up, studio specific movies, just see if how many of these people are in the same ones.
Yeah.
I know the old.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know if like in the 80s, I don't know if that was a contracted thing, but they definitely would reuse the same people. But I'm not sure. I never really thought about there being a reason. There might have, yeah, there might have been. I don't know if the contract, like studio specific contract thing, has been a thing for a while though.
Yeah, it seems like that died in the 40s, but
it probably did. Probably because like there's way more different studios in the 80s compared to the 40s, so it was probably like I'm not going to sign a contract with you and I can do stuff for anyone who wants to hire me, you know.
I mean, the 40s you had Universal, MGM. I guess. Well, RKO was RKO was I think owned by Universal.
Probably.
I guess Paramount probably. Yeah, Paramount was around back then. It was like what 3 or 4 big ones, I'd
Yeah,
say.
I think there was. Yeah.
All these independent ones came along, and then they got big, and you got more independents below that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it wouldn't make sign a contract with one studio.
No. Yeah, no. Yeah, I need to rewatch Maniac Cop. Tom Atkins and Maniac Cop. I love I've only seen the first one, but I haven't seen the sequels, but it's great. Tom Atkins is the man.
It's like I've seen it, but years and years ago.
It's a great movie. It's great. You got Bruce Campbell in it. Yeah. Anything with Bruce Campbell is going to be worth watching.
Oh, yeah, you can't lose there.
No, you definitely can't. But yeah, what are you off work until Monday or?
Yep.
Yeah, me too.
I get some of these knocked out.
Yeah. I've been trying to watch a movie every day. I might be able to do a little bit more this weekend. I don't have anything going on. I have something I have to do today, and then after that, I'm like, I don't plan on making any plans until well into next week.
I'm thinking about, and I've already seen them, but just kind of doing a rewatch on some of my Hitchcock movies. I'll probably do that.
Cool. Yeah, I need to further my Hitchcock movie knowledge, because all I've seen so far is Psycho, which I loved, by the way. But
let's see, I've got Vertigo, North by Northwest, and Rear Window. Those
are probably the ones I'll watch next. Rear Window and Vertigo, and what was the one that you like? Rear Window is the one you said you liked the most, I think. Yeah.
North by Northwest is really good. Those are movies that, for me, I have to watch them multiple times just to kind of feel like I really get the plot.
Oh, yeah.
Because other things will just kind of slide under the radar if you're not really paying attention to it. Especially like we were talking about, nowadays where everybody's got a phone and you're just so easily distracted by everything.
Yeah, no one's really paying full attention to anything anymore. I try to.
That's what I try to do, but something always happens. So
yeah,
it'd be good to watch.
I did it for years. Like I would watch movies, but then I would like let myself be distracted by anything. But now I try to put my phone away and just watch the movie. Like it's not hard to do.
Yeah, that's what I did last night. I was watching the Rocky movies. I just turned the lights off and threw my phone somewhere.
Yeah,
I'm not getting distracted.
Yeah, you're not going to fully enjoy something or fully understand something if you don't give it, all of your attention.
Yeah, for real.
You're just cheating yourself, really. There's no point in watching a movie if you're not going to pay attention to it. It's like why even put it on?
Matter of fact, I have an extra copy of Vertigo. I'll send it to you if you don't.
Oh, cool. Yeah, I really liked Psycho. I don't know why I waited so long to watch it, but I was like, I see why this is considered a classic now. Like, this movie is actually amazing.
The only thing is, it's one of those movies that it's sort of like Planet of the Apes. Everybody knows the end to it, so you already know going in. It's not.
Yeah.
Psycho would be great, but I've known the ending to that movie my whole life. So when you finally watch it, I get what's going to happen here. But
I maybe didn't know the details, but I guess I did. I mean, I knew what was going to happen. Obviously, I knew the girl was going to be murdered. Like not even halfway into the movie. Yeah, that's spoiled automatically. But there was still a lot about it that I guess I didn't know all the the fully fleshed out story. Like, I didn't know how it was going to end, like how it was going to pan out at the very ending. I didn't know that, luckily. So there was at least some surprise for me.
That's what I got out of it, is what happens to all the other characters.
Yeah.
Everything else has already been spoiled. I mean, same thing with Planet of the Apes. I don't think I have seen that all the way through ever.
I've never seen the original Planet of the Apes.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I never really wanted to. I until recently. Now, I like growing up, I never wanted to see Planet of the Apes.
Yeah, that was me as a kid. I was like, that's an old movie. I don't want to see that shit.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, it's old. The effects are not going to be as good, and
I mean, look at effects now; they're fucking garbage.
Yeah, I mean, depending on how it's done, yeah.
Well, big, blockbuster Hollywood movies is, let's just computer generate fucking everything. Like,
yeah, I was actually surprised. Have you seen the modern Planet of the Apes movies? Like the trilogy of recent times.
Yeah, but didn't they just start coming out with them again? Because I remember they had a remake.
Yeah, there's a remake with Tim Burton did it.
Yeah, but it wasn't directly a remake of the original, right? It was like they kind of.
I can't remember.
Part of that, there's a prequel trilogy, right?
Yeah, there's a trilogy. Yeah. There's a trilogy that is out like over the last 12 years or something like that. They're pretty good, actually. The apes are completely CGI, but they actually look pretty good.
But I get why you would do that.
You might like those.
Oh wait, Andy Serkis did one of those movies.
Yeah, Andy Serkis plays like the main ape, and he won an award for it.
Yeah, that was the one with what's his face? All the girls love him.
James Franco. Yeah, James Franco's really hit and miss for me, but he's pretty good in that movie. You saw that one, or?
Yeah, I saw that one. I know for sure.
Okay, there's two more after that. That I really like that first one though.
That was Rise of the Planet of the Apes, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep, Rise. Yeah. So I thought it's rare, but I thought they did a good job with the effects in that movie, because like I still felt things, probably just because it was done so well, despite being CGI. I mean, you can't. They had to do that. You can't get an ape to play that character, properly. And
well, let me elaborate. What I mean is, use CGI when you have to,
right?
But not overly depend upon it.
Yeah,
use
like CGI blood. Like CGI blood it's so lazy.
I hate that shit.
Yeah, like, well, we don't want to clean it up. Like, deal with it,
Yeah. Well, it's like everybody said, and I know this is the whole political thing behind it also, but everyone's like, "Oh, American Sniper is so good," and I didn't like it. I thought it was kind of eh. And then when people would ask me, it's like, "Well, what didn't you like about it?" Like, they CGI'd the blood.
Oh,
that's it. Like, it looks fucking stupid.
Yeah, because if it's done in a certain way, it like takes you out of the movie. It like pulls you out of it, and you're like, because you want to, like, when you're watching a movie, you want to just get like, you just want to get lost in it, and when something pulls you out of it, it's like getting woken up from a dream or something. You're like, I was having a good dream. Like,
It's the same thing in pro wrestling. Like, I want to be able to suspend my disbelief of this.
yeah,
And if people want to hate on wrestling, it's like movies are the exact same thing.
yeah,
Think about it.
yeah,
But it's like, if you're going to do something stupid
yeah,
or something that doesn't look good, it's going to take you out of it.
yeah,
That's probably why I like a lot of the old movies here lately. Because even today, when you look at Karloff in the Frankenstein monster makeup, it still looks real as fuck.
oh yeah, because
And
wanted it to look as good as they possibly could, and they
or
used
dude,
everything they had.
The
Yeah,
Invisible Man is still some of my favorite effects ever. That shit blows
yeah,
me away now.
yeah,
Even after reading about how they did it, it's like, how did you even figure that out to begin with?
yeah,
It's incredible to look at.
yeah. I know. Yeah, that's I only watched those Planet of the Apes movies recently, and because I never had any interest in them before, but I was like, wow, okay. I thought they were really good, and I was kind of surprised at how like I mean, I knew it was going to be all CGI, but I was surprised at how like it I was tricked, like it convinced me. It was convincing enough to where I could like, I could
Yeah,
lose myself in those movies, and they were, super
yeah. It's like
emotional, had a big effect on me, even knowing that it was CGI. So I was like, all right, you guys pulled it off.
well, it's like speaking of Andy Serkis, it's sort of like the Lord of the Rings movies, where yeah, this is obviously CGI, but everything else around it is done so well that
Yeah,
I don't really care or pay
yeah,
attention to it.
yeah.
That's why I like it. If you
If
can
it just
balance
looks
the
like a
two,
giant cartoon, then it's hard to take serious.
yeah, I mean, there is a time and place where okay, I get it. You really had no choice
Yeah,
but to. Yeah, I get it.
yeah,
Just don't do it all the time. Like, okay, my favorite example is Terminator 2 with the liquid Terminator part, and that's
yeah,
really the only time they ever used it. Everything
yeah.
else is the but, and that shit still. I mean, yeah, it's kind of dated now, but I mean, you
Still
can
looks
look at
decent
movies
though.
nowadays that's like that's all fake, and
Yeah,
I know it. Nick would know it,
yeah.
so it's really real.
That movie was so it was so cutting edge for its time.
Oh, absolutely.
That's why it holds up so well, is because it was so cutting edge, and they did everything they possibly could. And that's probably why it costs as much as it did. But still, you have to do a movie like that. You got to do it right. And that's why some of those movies like T2 still holds up. I mean, they all the explosions and stuff. I mean, they put so much work into that movie. It's pretty amazing when you think about it.
I mean, when you ask the average person what is the greatest action movie of all time, 90% of them probably gonna say T2. I
I'm
would
gonna say
imagine.
I'm gonna say Terminator 2. Yeah, because not only is it an action movie, it's like an adventure, it's sci-fi, it's like borderline horror at times. Like it's just, and it's also very like, and it's also very emotional too. Like you also get lost in this. You care for the characters, and you know what I mean. Like you know you're worried about Linda Hamilton throughout the whole movie, and John Connor, and I mean I love Linda Hamilton, and she did such a good job, Sarah Connor. But just that movie is just a masterpiece on so many levels. It has
Well,
everything.
ultimately, what matters most is the story and the
Yeah,
characters well represented and well liked and well acted. I
yeah.
mean, there's not a lot wrong with that movie that I can
No,
really point to.
no. It's literally as good as it could have been on every single level. Like
I would
that.
agree with it.
There's no way they could have possibly made a better movie, and that's why James Cameron's considered one of the best directors, and that's why it's considered one of the best movies ever made. And yeah, no, it's just it's so epic too. It's like Lord of the Rings level epic.
Yeah.
Without being a fantasy movie, it's yeah, so perfect.
If only they had left it with 2 movies.
Yeah, yeah. I'll admit I have not liked any Terminator movies beyond Terminator 2. And
Yeah.
I've given them a shot. I haven't seen the last few just because I'm like I don't want to see them anymore.
I'm not even going to try. It's like the first one is good. I
Yeah.
really like it.
Yeah.
2 is you're not going to top it, so why do I need to watch anything? I think I've seen all of them.
Yeah.
I've not seen the newest ones. 3 was just okay, but it was just a rehash of what happened in 2.
Yeah, after 3, I was like, okay, I'm done.
Yeah.
I thought 3 was so boring, and actually, you know, what was worse than 3 was, I think it was 4, the one that had like and I like Christian Bale a lot, but that one bored me to tears. I could not get into that movie as hard as I tried. Like,
I never even bothered.
Yeah, it's got Christian Bale and Sam Worthington, and it was just a snooze fest. Yeah, so I guess I checked out after that one. I'm like, all right, I'm done. I don't need any more Terminator movies. If this is the best they can do, I don't need to be a part of this anymore.
Arnold not being in it killed it right there.
Yeah. No, yeah. I guess they brought Arnold back for one of the more recent ones, but I don't even think he's a main character or anything. He's like a cameo, or I don't know.
We did Genesis, Dark Fate, I think this one. There's another one though. I can't remember what it's called.
Yeah.
Somebody knows.
Yeah, I remember Genesis. I remember Dark Fate, but I haven't seen those. I don't know. I'm not opposed to watching them, but at the time when they came out, I'm like, nope, I'm not I'm not doing it. But now I'm getting kind of curious. I'll probably give it a watch.
I mean, that's what sucks for me is anytime I see a preview coming out. Like I took my kid to the movies a few weeks back, and it was like, that looks shitty. That'll suck. Nope, not gonna watch that.
I'll admit I'm mostly like, there's a lot of good horror stuff still coming out, but like that's as far as like the blockbuster stuff. Yeah, I haven't been interested in anything for probably 20 years almost at this point. I'm not saying that there haven't been anything good. I'm sure there's been some good movies, but for the most part, yeah, I've kind of lost interest in like mainstream stuff. Like indie horror and indie stuff is the way to go nowadays.
Yeah. I was thinking, like, I miss going to the movies just to see what new previews are coming out, you know?
Yeah.
That was one of my favorite things about going.
Yeah, I still love that. I still love previews. That's still like one of my favorite parts.
Yeah, I'm not saying I don't like previews. I'm just saying, like, I remember going as a kid, like, wow, that looks fucking cool.
Yeah, I can't wait to see this.
Yeah. That's what it's supposed to do is get me interested in the movie instead of just fuck that.
And you'd watch the previews. If there were 6 previews, 5 of them you wanted to see. You know, there'd be like maybe one you didn't want to see. Every other one you're like, yes.
And now it's like garbage, garbage, garbage.
Yeah. No, I agree. Like I said, yeah, there's still a lot of good horror stuff coming out. Luckily, I'm glad to say that. But yeah, you gotta go the indie route. Pretty much. There's some good mainstream stuff that comes out on occasion. Like I really liked Malignant. That was a James Wan movie. You know, the guy that did he did the first Saw, and you know, he's done some other stuff. He did fucking Aquaman. So he's considered a big director, but I really like Malignant. That was a mainstream movie.
I think it was on Netflix. It may not be on there anymore, but it was like a whole movie of zombies watching horror movie previews. And I meant to send that to you. This has been a year or so back last I tried to watch it.
That sounds cool.
It was awesome. And, you know, it was just a whole bunch of movies from the 70s that you've never heard of. You might have. I hadn't.
No.
I mean, some of them were pretty well known. I think
yeah.
Sit on Your Grave was on there. What's that? I Drink Your Blood to Eat Your Skin. Pretty sure that was on there. There's just zombies eating, you know, popcorn. Well, not popcorn, you know, fucking
brain corn. Pop brain.
Yeah, maybe bloody popcorn, or you know, eating a hand. And they're just sitting there, you know, watching movie previews.
Damn,
I can't remember. It was fucking awesome.
Oh, cool. I like when they make movies maybe like old preview stuff. There's some other movies that have done stuff like that, but it's a cool idea. I love it.
There's actually an old theater maybe 3 miles from my house, and I just wish they would reopen it and just play nothing but old movies.
That'd be cool.
So happy.
Yeah.
Old features would be fucking great.
That would be cool. I might go see Thanksgiving this weekend. I don't know if you've heard of that. It's an Eli Roth movie. I'm interested in that because I saw Grindhouse in the theater back when that came out. So, you know, if you don't know anything about it, Thanksgiving was a fake trailer in the Grindhouse movie. So for that reason, I want to see, and I love those Grindhouse movies. So I really want to see Thanksgiving. I've heard it's pretty good. I've heard it's gory as fuck, so I'm down.
Eli Roth is gonna be gory as fuck.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, that's kind of his specialty. He doesn't really excel in other areas, but he knows how to do good gore. So I think I'm gonna try to see that this weekend.
I am debating on seeing Napoleon, but there's something to tell me that it's just not gonna live up.
Who directed really that? Does.
I don't remember.
Okay.
Oh wait, I saw it this morning.
I do like Joaquin Phoenix. I do think he's like one of the greatest actors of like our time, for sure.
I think it's really tough.
No, I think you're right. That's what I was gonna say.
Yeah, Joaquin's good. I like him.
Yeah, that's probably gonna be a pretty good movie. I'll probably see it eventually, I think.
Yeah, I probably won't go, but I'm debating.
Yeah.
I mean, it's the first time my kid wasn't involved where I'm like, I kind of want to go see that.
Yeah.
Yeah, first time.
Yeah. Nothing wrong with that.
So, yeah. We'll see.
Yeah. Well, I got to get going. I got to go. I have to be somewhere by 2:00, unfortunately, but we'll do this again another time for sure.
4:40 right now. I think you're late.
Now I got, yeah, in real time, right?
Yeah, in my time. I mean, you're talking from the past.
Yeah, that's true.
Or maybe I'm talking the future.
That's true. Time zones are so weird. I even as an adult, I struggle with the concept. Like, how does this work? Science.
Oh, every time you talk to me, hey, let's stream or something. About what? I'm like, okay, 4, 3, 2, 1.
I know.
Okay.
I gotta subtract hours and all this shit. Like,
I do it all the time.
Yeah. Well, anyway.
Yeah, we'll figure out get this shit done.
Yeah, next time we come back, we will have. It won't be random like this. We'll have a topic and stuff, so it'll be something more focused. We just wanted to do this just to kind of kick it off, just to bullshit. Yeah, there wasn't any real purpose to this, but the next one we will have a topic to stick with, and it should be fun. But anyways, I'll talk to you later, dude, and thank you guys for showing up. We'll be back.